Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And my good friend Theresa Vee is back with us, and we're going to be talking about creating through presence and passion. And we're going to, during our conversation, we always talk about so many different things. We are going to be taking some live caller questions. There's always some sort of processes that come through the call, especially with your questions, for those of you who are here live. And we're going to talk about and experience, what unconditional love is. We're going to feel more on purpose, inspired and empowered. We're going to feel like be healthier, and what that means and what that looks like. We're going to talk about that. We will be vibrating at a higher frequency, and we will have left our doubts about what's next behind us. So no more doubts. Take a step forward with trust and faith, and follow your heart. So for those of you who don't know Theresa, she is an international speaker, spiritual teacher, mentor, priestess, master of the healing arts, and an angelic channel. She's been with us many times, and we always love to have her back. She works with people who feel that they should have attended Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters before being sent out into the world, as she helps them to find the strength in their sensitivity and guides them in the use of these superpowers. Theresa is a visionary, a love warrior, and a fierce stand for peace, who is widely regarded as a presence of unconditional love. And in her uniquely effective way, she has been helping people expedite their healing and ascension for over 15 years, calling us into our authenticity and full integrity. She empowers sensitives, and most of us who are on these types of calls are sensitives. So she empowers us to stand in the power of who we really are, so that we can feel more alive, on purpose, and fulfilled. So I'm so glad that Theresa is back with us. Theresa, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. This is like divine timing.
I love it. And I'm so glad we are talking about, creating with purpose and passion, because at this time, some people might be a little bit wary, hesitant, afraid because of what's going on, but it is a great time to be creating, right?
Yes. I mean, this is the time to be creating. And we felt it really, I noticed a big shift in the collective consciousness with the last new moon. It was like this fire energy ignited inside of everyone. And so for a lot of us, it was that fire of passion and creativity, and maybe even a lot of anger actually came up for us as well. It was like unprocessed anger, or anger we hadn't let ourselves feel about the current situations in our lives. And you can see, kind of looking out at the world, how that ignited in the collective across the country, across the world, and people who weren't processing it as creativity processed it through as anger. So, we're really moving into a time where the shift has happened, like the up level that we needed has happened. And now we're being called to create what's next. So that's the exciting part, and a lot of us are just like, I'm ready to get out of the house, and we're missing out on that really juicy energy of creativity. So yeah, this is the time. I can go on about this forever, but we've noticed over the last couple of years, especially, the world was literally burning, right? It was on fire. There were fires in California, there were fires in Australia, and numerous other places. And so when we moved into 2020, and the angels had been telling us for a long time, like, you better be ready, be ready to hit the ground running. Make sure you strengthen yourself and fortify yourself before 2020. And we got in here and stuff started to happen. And it's like the soil of the earth has been fertilized, has been cleansed. Like when a volcano blows, this is my favorite analogy. When a volcano blows and the lava goes over that soil, it leaves behind the most fertile soil. So like our volcano has blown, the fire has burned through. And so now we are the people standing here with all of the seeds, and the divine is asking us, what do you want to plant? Right? And the angels are like, come on, let's plant. What do you want to plant? And so what we need to do is be in that energy of what do we want to create, and that's what this time is, and it's really exciting.
Oh, I love it. And I'm always talking about creation. What do you want to create? Where are you going? Let's focus, follow your heart, etc. So I'm so glad that you're here with us today to talk about this, right? Creating through presence and passion. And you cannot create from your head. So like, and being out there, you have to be present in the body to create, right? I mean, that's why we have physical bodies, is to create through and with our physical bodies. And passion is that energy of, again, creation, fire, movement, and just something that lights you up, right? And for me, the passion is like what gets your juices flowing. It's like, and the juices are, energy, right? It's the energy that gets moving. So it really is a good time to think about that before we start getting back into getting distracted by the, our day-to-day, everyday, because it is going to go back to that eventually. Maybe not fully 100% the way it used to be, but it's slowly going back to that. So we still have the opportunity right now to really tap in, go to our heart space, and think about, okay, what is it that we want to create now moving forward? Because everything has changed, right? And like you said, it is fertile ground. So it's like allowing yourself to dream a little bit, and then what feels good, follow that, right?
That's exactly the thing. A lot of people will always say to me, well, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know where to start, what to create. I'm not creative. I can't paint. I can't dance, like whatever the story is that we've inherited. And one of the most beautiful things is you don't have to know what, right? The what actually will get in your way. You'll trip over it. It's the, how do I want the world to feel? How do I want to feel in the world, right? So if we know what the feeling is, if we can dream and daydream and tap into that, and we just keep our focus on that feeling, keep our eyes set on the feeling, everything else, the universe will conspire to assist us in that, because we're very clear in what we want, and we let go of the what does that look like and the how am I going to do this, because we don't know those pieces and parts. But the synchronicities will start happening. We'll meet the right people. We'll be in the right place. Maybe we're just holding the energy for other people to be ignited by our vision, and whatever it is, it's really holding the vision and spending the time getting into the feeling of what that is. So even if you're having a day where you're feeling a little down, we all are having our ups and downs, especially recently. If you could just say, okay, well, the feeling that I'm holding is joy and equality, right? Like, that's what I want for the world. Okay, so what am I feeling now that's not that? Okay, and how can I get myself one step closer to that? So even if we're aiming the arrow, we don't have to shoot it, we're aiming it, and we're just saying, okay, this is what I want. Then the universe can say, oh, she's very clear on what she wants. So let's give her exactly that and start pouring energy there. And so in this community and communities like ours, we're pretty much focused on a lot of the same things. So imagine if everyone here today focused in the same general direction in terms of making this world better and making everyone feel better in it, how much energy we would move in just 5 minutes of visioning. So it's incredible. And I just read somewhere that 5 minutes of visioning and feeling into that space of openness can actually counteract like 18 hours of the rest of your day where you were feeling down or sad or angry or whatever. So that's how much we're so used to feeling the negative emotions, and maybe not here, but as humanity, that we don't realize that just that little bit of time can counteract all of that and propel us in the right direction, which is amazing. We're so powerful and we don't even know it.
Right. And that's the thing. It only takes 5 minutes to really shift your reality, start to shift your reality. And, one of the things that you said that I really liked as well is about, it's about the feeling. What are you feeling? It's a quality. It's not about, I want $1 million. How is that going to change the world? No, but what are you feeling? I want to feel more joy, and I want everybody else to feel more joy. So the feeling of joy, and however you interpret that, or feel happy or have more ease or more playfulness, whatever it happens to be, it's a quality that you're looking for, and that quality that you want to hold on to, and not just for yourself, but for all of humanity, for the planet, right? And and that's where I think we sometimes get confused or misstep, because we think it's something, a physical thing. This is what I want. This is what I'm creating. But it's really not. It's an energy, and it's a quality, and it's a feeling. and
Mhm.
you tap into that through your heart, not from your head, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying I want $1 million. And a lot of people in the spiritual community like have a thing with money, but the reason being, and this is really important for us in this time of creativity to understand, is there are a lot of people who have a lot of money and a lot
Hmm.
of resources who are not using them for the greatest good.
Right.
So if we could switch that dynamic and even it out, and get some of those resources into our lives, into our communities, every single person here would live a happier life, because whatever your situation is, this bill would be paid, I'd be able to study with this person, I'd be able to
Right.
do this, and I'd be able to help my neighbor, and I'd be able to give this to this person. And so this is why, that feeling when we tap into, okay, I want $1 million. Okay, that's great. But you want it. But what we need you to do is get to the level of, what is the feeling you're looking to create?
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you focused on wanting the $1 million and you can get to the feeling, the universe is going to be like, oh, why only give her $1 million? Let's give her $1 million, this great car, these wonderful people, this incredible creative outlet, like all of the things that we're looking for. So it's really important for us to start claiming that, to shift that balance back to the
Hmm.
heart-centered community, which is really, I'm just so excited about this time, because I know we've all been working really hard, we've all been holding the energy, so I'm really excited to see what comes out of
Yeah,
it. So
absolutely. And I'm glad that you clarified that, because it is two pieces, it's two parts, right? Yeah, absolutely. So good. Thank you. And it's okay to have money. It's okay to want money, because with this society, this reality does function on money, right? So yes, but it's also about what can you do with the money, and how
exactly.
can you make the world better with the money. The money is just a tool, it's just a resource,
Hmm.
right? But what change do you want to make in the world, including for yourself, right?
Absolutely. And everyone, just because they're here, I know, would have no problem doing that, and that's the beautiful thing is we I know I've been bringing the millions. Yeah, I hear you. It would be really wonderful for us to all be able to do everything we want with infinite tools and
Yeah.
infinite abundance in all the ways, which is beautiful. And Alara, I just want to circle back to, you mentioned embodiment before, and this
Hmm.
is also really important. I just spent a long time speaking with a friend about this morning. um, we can't actually create anything without being embodied,
Hmm.
and we used to say grounded, and I'm not like a real fan of the word grounded, because it has at this point so many connotations of having to work. For me, embodiment is fun, right? I
Hmm.
get to inhabit this amazing body that does all of these things. I get to make it dance, I get to make it run, I get to make it sing, like whatever I want. And that's really important, because only when we are part of this earth, we are fully inhabiting our bodies, can we move that energy forward. If we're
Yeah.
thinking of all these great ideas and we're sort of floating around out here, great, we've thought of all of this stuff, we're starting the energy, but we can't actually get anything done.
Hmm.
And so I love that you brought that piece in, because that is where we're moving. And as a sensitive community that has learned early in life that it's not really safe to be fully embodied because people don't understand you, or you feel too deeply, or whatever you experience personally, it's time for us to change that, because we have communities now. We've found each other a lot of the time, and we do have people who can support us and guide us and relate to us in our full embodiment. So it's
Yeah. And
it's
that's
an
the,
incredible moment. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, so can you talk a little bit more about, okay, we have the idea, we have the vision, right? And then how do we embody that vision to make it a reality?
Yeah, it's so I can speak to my experience and I can speak to what I've seen other people do. It's almost like, for a lot of us, it's we get things in pieces. Like
Hmm.
we may know the big piece, or we may know a little part of it. And it's like, okay, now what happens is, for me, I have to wait for, I almost feel like Archangel Michael is behind me lighting a match. And like,
Right.
okay, now, and like literally lights the fire behind me, and I go. Or I'll receive the guidance. And there have also been, may I say, times where I've been inspired to create something and then it's all ready and the universe says, no, no, not now. But guess what? It's created for when it is the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really about feeling into it, letting it unfold in you. It's almost like a seed is planted in you and it blossoms as you do all the things you need to do in your day. Like you take care of yourself, you have fun, you do your work, whatever it is, it can blossom and take root in you and then inspire you to take the next action. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like you have to do everything at once, because that's why so many of us get nothing done, is because we are so easily overwhelmed because we can feel,
Mm-hmm.
we can feel all of the things. And when we look at the big picture, a lot of times we're like, oh my God, there's like 1,000 steps to get there. Where do I start?
Yeah.
So when we let that open in us, it'll show us the next right step. And the next right person will actually walk right into your life because you're in the synchronistic flow. And that's been my experience. And so also a great idea is to have your idea book,
Mm-hmm.
because what happens a lot of times is we get these great ideas and then we have to hold on to them.
Yeah.
And so now there's this like little drawer in the back of your brain where all these great ideas are stored that you're trying not to forget.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I can't forget that. But then what that does is takes up space for, so other things can't flow in. So if you have
Mm-hmm.
your idea book, you'll keep all these great ideas down, or the things you might want to create, like if you want to learn to paint or tap dance or whatever. And then you'll open it one day and the thing that needs to be created, thing that's ready, will just kind of glow off the page, or the book will fall off the shelf and open, or whatever. But it's really a good idea to get things down somewhere, however you take notes, and get them out of your head so that you can have more space for energy to flow in and flow out.
Beautiful. I love it. And and the thing, it is about steps and stages. So you're not going to get all the information for whatever your idea is, or for whatever you're visioning, all at once. It's going to be in steps and stages. As you take a step, more will be opened up to you. Then you take another step, and you keep going, right? And like right now, there's something going on in my life, and I can't talk about it yet, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But the thing is, it's like when you get an inspiration, when you get inspired, or when you make a statement to the universe, like, I really want this, and then I really want this. Okay, cool. But then you act on the inspiration you get, the insights you get, the wisdom you get. You take small little actions and you keep following the energy of it, the joy of it, whatever quality that you're looking for, right? That you're wanting to experience, and you start following more of that, then it's like the pathway gets open and becomes clearer and clearer and clearer, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like, it's about trusting that when you do have some sort of idea, vision, desire, and you've said it to the universe, you've said it to yourself, you've told yourself, you're holding that vision for 5 minutes a day, for example, right? And you're feeling into the energy, you're feeling into that quality that you want to experience and you want others to experience, then it starts to unfold. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. And it's so funny because it's like the answer will be yes, no, or not now. Right. And it's like, it may be a great idea, but you feel into it and it's like a definite no. And the no is never, never. It's always like a not now. So it's just a matter of keeping that around because you've been inspired there for a reason. And
Yeah.
yeah, you can vision and you can hold the energy and you can get into the feeling. Like one of my favorite things to do is really get into the feeling. And over time, you start to look back and see how much you were inspired. Like you may not even know that whatever you're doing is connected to your big vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, you see how every step you've taken over the last year has prepared you for where you are now. And you needed to take that step to make the connection to get here. And sometimes it may feel like things are coming at us too fast, and we can always say to our higher self, to universe, like, okay, this feels really fast, so either show me how to get it all done, or I need the energy to slow down for a little while. So we're also always in control of how much and when.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I've had to say that sometimes, like, okay, it's too much right now. I need
Mm,
to slow down. And because then my body will just, it will take a break, like something
yeah,
will happen, like I need to take a break, so it's like rest time. And that's part of the integration too, with, integrating your vision, those energies, and embodying them, right? So that you can take the next step, so that you can even get the information for the next step.
definitely. Definitely. And it's just it's super important to listen to yourself, because if your body doesn't take a break, like you were saying, your body will take a break, where mine might too, but that's over time. What will happen is my mind and my emotions will just shut down, and it's like I end up just like, okay, I overdid it, and now I just need to like stare at the wall for 5 hours,
Yeah.
um and a friend of mine had said to me years ago, there are just going to be days where you're going to get nothing done because that's
Mhm.
the flow you need to be in. And I find that those are the days when I really listen and I don't fight that. Those are the days when the next steps, the next seeds are being incubated within me,
Yeah.
so that when I am ready to go and do something, it's like, oh, okay, I got to do this, and oh, this, and there's an email in my inbox that's perfect, or whatever. And it's incredible how even when we think we're not doing anything, we're moving so much energy. So, especially now, I feel like we really need to be conscious of listening to our bodies, listening in, and really giving ourselves what we're being asked for.
Absolutely. And, listening to our bodies and listening to our soul as well,
Yeah,
right? Listening to our
absolutely.
soul. What does our soul, what is it saying right now? And we can't do that when we're just constantly thinking in our heads. That's when we need that quiet time. That's when
Mm,
we need to either meditate for, 10, 15 minutes, or go out in nature for a little while and just connect with the trees, or connect with, what the river, or whatever happens to be for you. Right. And when you do that, then you find that space, you find that peace, you find that stillness, and then your soul, you can actually hear what your soul is actually wanting to say. Because so many times, so many of us are in our heads a lot, and we just hear the same old thoughts over and over again. And we need a break from that too, right? So that we can listen to our
definitely.
heart, listen to our soul, and listen to what spirit is guiding us to do next.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, there's nothing wrong with thinking, and there's nothing wrong because that's actually a part of what we need to do. Is we need to sort of, when we're inspired, we do move into our mind a little bit, but the
Mhm.
problem is we're so used to, and this is what you're talking about, letting our mind take over.
Yeah.
And we've been taught as a culture that our mind should be in the driver's seat. And so, especially, and this is my favorite part of the way universe inspires us, is it almost never makes any sense, right? Like, I'm almost every time I'm inspired to do something, I'm almost always left saying, and why would I do that? Like, because, and this is the way that my team makes sure that I know that it's not coming from me. It's coming
Hmm.
from someplace else, because it's not something I would have chosen or ever thought to do, or that logically makes any sense. Like you were saying, it's, um, we're going to move out of our doubts today. We're going to step forward. And I'm always all about, like, practice what you preach. And if you're going to talk about it, then you need to do it. And literally 10 minutes before I got on this call, I just took a huge leap of faith with something. And so, I'm like, all right, we're going. It's not what I thought I would be doing. It's not where I thought my energy would be going, but I was led there repeatedly. And then there are other steps that need to be taken where I would have never thought I'd be taking them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's
Yeah.
it's about really listening when that guidance comes, no matter how scary it might be to your mind. There's something in your heart, something in your gut that feels settled underneath all of those like noisy waves in your mind. And that's what you're talking about, when we can get quiet, when we can really connect in with ourselves somehow. For some, it's running, for some, it's meditating, whatever it is for you. Um, that helps us to move under those mind waves and say, okay,
Hmm.
what's really there? And that can be really unsettling in a good way.
Well, and that's like we're going through the same thing right now too. We're embarking on something totally brand new, and not anything we were planning on at all. And so it's like we're just about to jump. We've jumped. We just have to do the legal hurdles, but we've jumped. And the thing is, like, I was saying to my husband yesterday, the day before yesterday, or to myself, okay, how many more signs do I need? I got I got so many. How many more
Exactly.
signs do I need about this? And then I got one more, and it's like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, yeah. There's no more questions. It's a yes.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm listening to my heart. I'm listening to my soul. I had made a statement out loud at some point where I said something, and obviously the universe heard me, or my husband heard me, or somebody heard me, right? um and it's like, okay, so it's happening. And it's like, I did not know this was going to happen. Like, if I would have asked myself 6 months ago, this was not in the cards, right? But it's
Right.
about when the timing happens, you have to jump. And like, the opportunity that we're presented with right now is like, there's nothing else like this anywhere. So it's like, it would be crazy to not
Yeah.
jump at it, so it's like, and that's about trusting that what your soul is guiding you to, or what spirit is guiding you to, is the right thing for you. Even though you
Absolutely.
haven't got everything figured out, right? But if it matches the energy of what you are wanting to create, what you're wanting to experience, right, then follow it and see what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. We're now living and moving more into a moment to moment paradigm, which involves a lot of things, but most of all, it involves trust. You said the
Mhm.
magic word, and this is a thing that I've I've just loved my whole life, is just being in the trust of the divine and really following the guidance when it comes, no matter how outrageous it is, because the
Mhm.
only times things have been hard for me are when I don't follow the guidance.
Exactly.
And what being in the moment to moment and being in that trust really involves is being in this present moment. Because if we jump to the past of, when I thought, oh, this happened, and oh my gosh, what if this, right? That's when the mind takes over, and that's when
Yeah.
we go into anxiety or depression or whatever. And I'm not talking chemical depression, but
No.
it's this present moment where the infinite potential for creation is. And if we are always in this moment, we will never miss the guidance, and we will always be able to tap right into the infinite potential that we have at our fingertips. And so that's the thing. If people are always saying, oh, I'm working so hard on this, well, get yourself present, get yourself quiet, and see what needs to be tweaked, because something is off.
Yeah.
And and that's a really beautiful sign from the universe, rather than let you go full throttle. And it's saying, okay, well, how can we tweak this? How can we make a little bit of a turn? And my favorite visual that Archangel Michael always gives is, when people are ready to jump, like they're almost in trust, but then he always shows me their toes hanging over like the edge of the cliff, like
Hmm.
grabbing on for dear life, like white knuckling with their toes. And they're like, why am I not going anywhere? And it's like that little toe still hanging on.
Yeah.
um and that's really where a lot of us go to. We go to the place of being like, yes, I'm ready, and then it's like that one little pinky toe is still hanging on. So we just have to look at what that pinky toe is in our life, and really bring the breath there, bring presence there, bring love there, and
Hmm.
allow that piece of us to really let go and fly.
Oh, I love that. I love that visual, as well. And and it's like, it's funny when you're like, you're soaring, you're flying, but you're not moving, and you look back, and it's like, yeah, that one little pinky toe is still hanging on. It's like, okay. And that's the thing. It's like, and that one little thing might be fear, it might be doubt, it might be control, trying to control everything, right? All of that. And
Absolutely.
it's about letting go and letting God, then the saying, let go and let
Absolutely.
God.
Mhm.
Well, let go and let God and see what happens,
Mhm.
and I always say, what's the worst that could happen? It's like, I'm not sure. Nothing too drastic ever really happens.
Yeah, the
Um,
universe has never let any of us fall off the cliff onto our face, right? And it always has. There's always been an angel there to pick us up, if even at the last minute.
yeah,
So, it's
yeah. What's the best that could happen?
the best that could happen. Absolutely.
Exactly. What's the
And
best that
that's
could
the
happen?
part, honestly, that's the part that scares us more than what's the worst that could happen. It's
Yeah.
almost easier to look at what's the worst that could happen. What's the best that could happen often makes us move into this place of bigness that we're really not comfortable being. So I love that you're asking that, because that can be much scarier for us. So,
Hmm.
yeah, what is
Hmm.
the best that could happen?
Yeah. Wow. But for me, when you ask the question, what's the best that could happen? That feels so expansive.
Yeah.
it feels so expansive, so much lighter and joyful. It's like, yeah, what is the best? And it's more than what I can imagine. So whenever, you're talking about whenever you followed your heart or the guidance from spirit, etc., when you followed it, everything worked out great. For me, it's always been whenever I followed that and my own inner voice or that joy, etc., it's always been much more magical than I could have imagined. Those times when I doubted and stepped back and blah blah, that was my head and that was the fear, right? That was the doubt. But every time I trusted and followed my inner knowing and that joy, I mean, it's always been beyond what I could have imagined, So maybe I was imagining too low. Maybe I need to, broaden my imaginings, right? Broaden my visions a little bit more and ask for more magic, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Go ahead.
I was going to say the universe always knows what we need more than we do. And we always shoot low, right? We always do. And so the universe is just waiting. Like I always picture my angels standing there with armloads of stuff that they're ready to bring to me. And there's something that I'm just not accepting. And they're like, come on, It's like when I finally let that one little thing in, they're like, oh yeah. And here's all this other stuff,
Yeah. Beautiful.
And,
I love that.
It's amazing.
So I was going to ask you, did you want to take some questions? I didn't mention at the beginning, we are going to be taking some live caller questions. So if you do have a question for Theresa, you can raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat, whichever one works for you. And, for me, it's always a question around, how do I, I'll just bring up a sample question that people may have. It's like, well, how do I know that what I'm asking for, what I want to create is coming from my heart, from my soul, and not from my head or not from somewhere else?
Yeah, well, the first is like you're asking the question. So that's a pretty good indication. People who are not asking that question would be more likely to be creating from their head or from their ego. So that's the first thing I would say is if someone's actually sitting with that, then that's a good sign. The other piece is, even if it is from your head, when you get into moving the energy, your heart will start to take over because you're probably, if you're here, doing it from a place of intention, of wanting the highest and best outcome for any and all. So that's always the two things that I look at. And I used to work with a teacher who would say, even if you make the biggest mistake, if your intention is there and you're coming from your heart, everything will work out perfectly. So that's always a really comforting thought for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Thank you. So I know Don raised his hand and has a question. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Don. Go ahead.
Hey, Theresa. Hey, Laura.
Hi.
I've worked with you once about 2 years ago, Theresa, and I have a question about why I'm continuing to be stuck, that I'm trying to get something settled with a government agency, and it just, they haven't been hitting their deadlines very well, and so it's just been kind of hard. So I'm wondering, is there anything I can do to get unstuck, or do you see it coming, or any angels helping me that I could get to work with me on this?
Yeah, so first of all, good luck, especially now, getting anything settled with a government agency. So I just want to normalize what you're going through a little bit right now, because I know so many people who are trying to work with government agencies and having real problems. So, it's just this time is a problem to start with. But when you work with metaphysics and you work with the angels, there's none of that matters. So what I see, I want you to start by changing your vocabulary, right? When you're saying, oh, I'm trying and I'm stuck, change the vocabulary to the feeling you want, right? I'm moving through this, and however the vocabulary can be a little bit more empowering. Like, let's get rid of the word stuck. And Archangel Michael is showing me, like, I literally see him sitting at a table with a pencil behind his ear and paperwork and folders. So call on Archangel Michael, and call on the guardian angels of the people in the government agency as well. because when you call on them and ask them to touch the hearts of the people in the agency so that they will feel they will feel loved and worthy. And then what will happen is sort of how we talked a little bit about the idea book before, how it will open and something will glow. What will start to happen for them is somehow your thing, whatever pile it's on, will glow or fall out or stick out to them somehow. Energetically, they'll resonate with it. And it's almost like you get moved to the top of the pile. And this isn't, by the way, energetic manipulation. This is just really working with love and gratitude and people resonating to the love and gratitude that is their birthright. Does that make sense, Don?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
So is Archangel Michael, is he on the case as well? Can I invoke him, or is there others?
Oh yeah. He's basically saying, he's basically like at the starting line, like, Don, please put me on the case. Like, I am so ready. I have all my supplies. I have all my props. Let's go. So yes, put him on the case.
Okay, he's in. You're in, Archangel Michael.
Tag, you're in, Mike. Awesome.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Don. And I love that question, and I love how, you know, it can be that easy that you can, it's not like you said manipulation, but it's like when you're sending out love and blessings and gratitude to someone or some people, place, or thing, you know, they will feel it, you know, and they will, you know, see you differently somehow. You know, it's an energetic thing, but absolutely. And it's something we can all do, not because of we have some sort of agenda per se, but just out of kindness, because right now everybody is going through difficult times, stressful times, you know, nothing is really working the way it should. And so if you send them that love and blessings and gratitude ahead of time, it kind of like greases the wheels, you know.
It does. And, you know, anytime we're working, especially with a government agency, there's so much negativity that they have to deal with all the time because people are always feeling they're too slow or whatever the story is. Like, I'm in New York, so everyone here wants everything done immediately, you know, and so they have to wade through so much of that energetic negativity every day that when they receive, or when any person in a position like that receives a little bit of love and gratitude, it's like fuel, right? It's fuel that they didn't even know they needed. And it's really beautiful. And that's actually how we're going to be called to show up for each other in the world, every single person moving forward, because what we were doing before was not working. Yeah. And so universe has taken this wonderful opportunity to have us reset ourselves. And this is how we'll be moving forward. So Don will just be lighting the way.
Yay. Thank you, Don, for that. All right, we're going to go to Michelle in the UK. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Michelle. 1 second. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Laura and Theresa. Great call. I wanted to ask, I'm very big into my divine service and my soul's saying, yes, yes, yes. And my body tenses up. It's like my human is saying, hell no. And I wanted to ask how I can relax and kind of get my body into more acceptance of where I'm stepping forward and what I'm doing, because when I do it, it's amazing because my mind gets really quiet. It just goes, oh, and then there's this really quiet space. It's just I still notice my body tensing up when I'm doing it. So there's some resistance there that I'm encountering.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm seeing when you're asking about this, as soon as you mention your body tensing up, what I see is in your second chakra, it looks like a huge ball of cement. So and then when I'm like, what is this about? It feels like something from a past life combined with these things that you said or did in this lifetime to keep yourself more grounded. So it's almost like an anchor, right? Weighing you down. And so now when you're moving into your divine service, you're expanding and you're getting floaty. And this thing is saying, come back here. And your body's like, no, trying to pull you back in. So what we can do, are you open to releasing the past life part of this?
I am, yes.
Okay. So we're going to have Archangel Raphael has come to just take it away. And it just looks like this little wispy thing that was in the middle. It doesn't even matter what or where. We're going to release it with love and gratitude. Beautiful. And so I just want to say to you, the angels always work with me they show me humor because they exist in joy. And so when I laugh at times like this, it's not because it's funny, but it kind of is. Archangel Michael is showing me that he's now willing and ready to work with you with that ball of cement looking stuff. Is that okay with you? Are you open to letting him work with you?
Oh, yeah, I love it. He calls himself, when he comes to me, Archangel Michael, and he calls me Michael too. And he's got a great sense of humor. He absolutely loves fart jokes.
I love that. So, how he just appeared when he said he was ready, he has a hard hat on and a jackhammer, and he's like ready to like go through this block of cement. And so what he's doing is breaking it up into smaller pieces that you will release it as the timing is right. So they're showing me some in your dream time, some through staying really hydrated, some through moving your body. And it's just like, they'll just release like breadcrumbs and you won't have to worry about it. Some of them he's going to take with him right now, but it feels like you just need some to be in there a little bit longer because adjusting too much too fast would overwhelm your system. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, okay. Absolutely.
Beautiful. And the last little bit is there's a piece of you that goes into overwhelm when you think about living in your purpose and your mission. So get back into the present moment repeatedly. Okay. So when your body starts to tense up, it's a good sign that you've moved out of the present moment. So just sort of check in with your body, breathe into her, let her know she's okay, and bring your attention back there. Does that resonate for you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you.
Beautiful. Oh, there is no stopping you now. This is like, do you feel openness in your second chakra?
Yes, I can feel the heat and the energy going in there and pulsing through everything.
I'm just feeling like there's so much space that wasn't there before. So really beautiful, and just know that the divine timing is perfect. And Mikey, he'll be with you and taking the pieces as they're ready to go.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Theresa and Alara. Fantastic shows, Alara.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. I love it. And Michelle is another form of Michael, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Michael, Michael, Michelle. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. All right, we're going to go to Caroline. Go ahead. I'm going to go and unmute you. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, there you are.
Thank you. Thank you, Alara. Thank you, Theresa. Fluttering. I wrote to you both, but I just wanted to mention here thank you for your support, because I was able to truly let go of my attachments of my daughter and what she had done, and not every time I would go to forgive it or let it go or wonder, I just felt your presence, both of you, and I just wanted to say thank you, because it is resolved, and it was resolved so beautifully. And after it was resolved, it's not even a decision. I can't even call it a decision. There was something inside of me that I felt almost like a vomiting after I did it, but it was a complete release. And texted her and said she didn't owe us the money any longer. And I apologized for my fear when she was younger, and it was just so beautiful. There was such a huge release. Like I said, it just felt like bleh, all out of me.
Good.
Throughout the whole 9 months that this took, I felt your presence, and I just wanted to say thank you to both of you.
You're so welcome. You know I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being such, first of all, I just want to say I'm so proud of you. I was so proud when you sent that email, and like, yay. And also thank you for being a testimonial to community, because when we are open to allowing others to hold us up and to hold energy for us, that's when we can move through our stuff the easiest. And so many of us have had the experience, right, Alara, where we sort of feel like we have to hold ourselves up all the time. And so the beauty is exactly what you just shared. When we can just say, I can't do it, we feel those people holding us up from behind. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you.
And I just responded to your email, by the way.
Okay. May I ask a quick something about September retirement? I intend to retire all the way.
That was a statement.
Yeah, that wasn't the question.
Statement. I don't even want to pose the question that way.
It's always your choice.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm hearing a few things in the bit of silence that I'm getting. So I'm one of the blessed ones to still be working from home. Today, actually, I took a day off because I just needed time on the beach and just to reflect. I guess, yeah, working my gifts full time, being financially supported, like I said in the beginning, right? There's no question.
No, there's no question. So it feels like you just wanted to make that statement and have us all witness you. So I witness you, and I am so happy for you.
Okay.
Fly and let go of the cliff.
Right.
She's trying to get her pinky toe back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm just going to take a few more questions from the chat. 1 second. Let me go all the way back up. There's so many now. Wow. Dave Ronnie was asking, how do I, and this is a great question for everybody, how do I open myself up to receiving in abundance?
So I'm just feeling into you personally. For so many of us, there are different blocks and different stories to really being in our birthright of abundance. You know, a lot of them come from indoctrination early in life and like little sayings that we hear or whatever it is. So for you, what the angels are showing me is you can just sit down every day. And, you know, we talked about the importance of visualizing even for really short periods of time, and just sit down. You know, you can cross your legs or however you want to do it. Put your palms up and you can rest them on your legs and just picture like platinum light raining down on you, and let it cover you, and then start to breathe it in through your skin. Breathe it in, invite it in. And why they're showing me this is that this is a way for you to start being more comfortable with receiving, with really letting yourself be filled up from the inside. And they're showing me that this platinum energy that you're bringing in will start to move any of the little bits of resistance, because it feels like you've done a lot of work around this, let's put it that way. And it feels like what's left is just stuff that you've inherited really lovingly from other people that doesn't serve anymore. So it's just a matter of that light pushing it out through your system and you getting more comfortable with receiving and being in that place of having received and stepping into your birthright. Let us know if that makes sense to you, please.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, let us know, Devani, in the chat. Angela's asking, can we ask the angels to intercede and guide when you suspect your teenager is drinking alcohol? I laugh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Angela. My children are older now, but you know, they did all of that stuff too. So I get it.
Yeah. The one thing you can do, you can call on their guardian angels and ask that they inspire them at a time where it's safe for them, while they're driving or whatever. But they will actually whisper to your children, and they already are. But the one thing you can do as a mom is call on Archangel Michael and ask Archangel Michael to go with them and to be with them and to protect them, especially when they're doing something stupid, which we all did, right?
Yes,
and that's
we
part
did.
of what being a teenager is really thinking you're invincible and doing things and exploring the world. The other thing is Archangel Michael will come back to you if there's a line that's crossed and you need to have a conversation. So really listen in, and if there is a place where you feel like you need to have a conversation with your kids, then you can ask the archangels and the angels for the right words to say. So that's important.
Awesome. Thank you. P.S. Is saying, I've had small successes in selling my artwork and teaching feng shui. I love the feeling of acceptance. I'm not good at marketing myself. Any suggestions for breaking through my shyness?
Okay. So one of the first things I want to do is I'm looking at what you wrote. I want to take the word small out of that. I want to say I've had success in selling my artwork and teaching feng shui, right? So, and I'm ready for more. And you can say to universe, thank you, bring me more. Like, this felt really good. I love the feeling of being accepted. Thank you, bring me more. And that goes for any of us. When we have something that happens in our life that we really love, we can just stop where we are and say, thank you, bring me more. And that's it. Marketing is never easy, especially for sensitive people, because we've all been marketed and we can all feel inauthenticity like 100 miles away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for you, I think reframing the word marketing and considering it an invitation, because your artwork is so special. So just invite people to look at it, invite people to experience it. And that's all you need to do is issue the invitations, and even just talk to people about what you love about feng shui and how it's affected your life. And so you're just sharing. And now you don't even have to market, because your love for what you do and the specialness of what it is coming through you. And you don't have to convince anybody to do anything. You can just say, oh, if you want to try it, or if you want, this piece, you could buy it, So that feels like it starts to shift things in your body. And all of a sudden, you're going to be so inspired by how to say things and what to write and what to share, because you're not looking at it as, I have to sell this. You're looking at it as, I get to share this.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Good. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I get to share this. Yeah. Love that. Edwin, sorry, I might be saying it wrong, but I feel sometimes something like energy or entity in my body. Can you tell me what it is, or am I out of my mind?
Hang on. Just sort of feeling in. You're not out of your mind. I just want to share that. I'm just shifting. So what they're showing me is that there are some thought forms that start to move through you that attract like thought forms. And every thought form we have is an energy. It goes out into the world. We might use the word entity. So what it feels like is this is a call for you to get really in touch with your thoughts and notice, like, if you start to feel like that, go backwards and say, okay, what was I thinking? What was I feeling? What just happened? And then you'll start to see where your energy has this little keyhole almost, where these thoughts and these energies can come in because they're attracted to like. And so that's what they really want you to know, is that there's this one, it's like a split second, and poof, because you're so powerful, you're such a magnetic force. And they also want you to realize that you can use this in the other direction. When you hold high vibration thoughts, or you hold high outlooks and energies, that you attract the positive and the strengthening just as quickly, if not more quickly. So it's just check in with where this is happening and then start moving it in another direction. I hope that makes sense and helps. Let us know if it doesn't.
Awesome. And Deborah says, my third eye pulsates a lot, very strongly. I've been told and feel it is connection. How do I develop or hone this one? What am I to do? There's a lot you can do.
Yeah. You can, I'm asking specific to you. And what I see is it's so cute because you have a very strong clairvoyance you have for many lifetimes. And I see there's almost a fear of moving into it fully because you just, there's something in you that's like, I'm not ready. Oh my gosh, it's too much. You know, the story. Maybe you were a kid and had an experience, and that fear or that inability for people to relate caused fear in you, whatever it is. But they're showing me like you keep patching it up with like this tiny little piece of gauze, and that's all that needs to be removed. So there's not much blocking it, blocking you from moving into this. But what they want you to know, what your guides, what your higher self, what your guidance wants you to know, is that you're in control with how much and how fast. So when you say, okay, third eye, I really want to work with you. I want to work with this sense. Please be gentle. Let's do a little bit, and I'll tell you if that's okay, and we'll move deeper. And it will be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun for you. So just move into it that way. Start communicating that way, and make the effort to move in that direction, and take your stand on how much and how fast.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Good. So let us know how that relates or how that resonates with you, Deborah. Sorry, my voice is kind of going a little bit. Mm-hmm. So Pat, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. I'm assuming it's a different Pat than the one who asked a question. Hello? Yes, it is. Hi, Pat. She's not there. Okay, we'll come back.
I am.
Oh, she's back.
Awesome.
Hello, Theresa. So
Hi.
nice to talk to you. Yeah, I'm asking you, am I integrating higher codes into my being? Because I still feel off balance, but last night I couldn't sleep. It was very strange. And I try to stay heart-centered, walk out in nature, send love to the world and everything every day. Mm-hmm. Is there a message for me?
Yeah, so you've been integrating codes for quite some time now. And in the last couple days especially, the energy has been pretty intense, especially like for sleeping and things like that. So it just feels like the off balance at this point feels like a little bit too much too fast because of the state that the collective is in. I hope that makes sense. It's not anything that you're not doing right or doing wrong. It's just that there's so much collective energy around us all that is in a different state, that it takes a lot more of our energy to stay balanced and to even do the simplest things that we would normally have done before with no problem. So they just want you to really give yourself a break and let yourself take credit for all that you are doing, and to know that it's okay at this moment to say, you know, I just need tonight to take a break. I'm totally open to doing the work, but I really need a good night's sleep, and let them help you with that. Is that okay?
Thank you so much, Theresa.
Good.
I'm so grateful to feel that. I feel all your messages, but it's nice to get a confirmation, you know. And I realize the collective is going through so much, and I know we're going to get over the mountain and we're going to make it. But
oh, absolutely. And there is going to be such a beautiful land on the other side of that mountain. I'm just so excited.
Oh, my whole body is tingling. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Pat.
Blessings to you. Thank you, Alora.
Thank you.
I love being with you on a daily basis.
Thank you, Pat. We're happy to have you with us.
Yes.
So much love. I'm just reveling in the love. Hang on.
All right, so I'm going to take one more quick question from Julie. Julie says, I'm working really hard during this time on myself and raising my vibration, which she is. However, I am challenged by maintaining a sense of harmony when family members, husband, or 16-year-old daughter push my buttons.
Yeah. 16-year-olds are prone to do that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And I see, I just want to acknowledge that I saw Nicole sent us a message also about a very similar thing. So I think this is happening with a lot of us right now, in terms of, spending so much more time with the people we love who have signed those amazing contracts to push our buttons, and we've done the same for them. So,
Right.
I'm pretty sure that if our family members were on a call like this now, they'd be talking about some of us the same way. So it's really a beautiful time for us to realize, like we just said to Pat, that there is so much more energy being spent doing the simplest of things. So going grocery shopping or watching TV, whatever it is, it's taking more energy now. So we have less at our disposal a lot of times. The other piece is that notice the buttons they're pushing, right? Notice where those buttons are. And that's where your attention needs to go in terms of your own work. Like, what is still here for me? What can I deepen with? And then the other side of it is this behavior just unacceptable behavior, and what needs to be done about that? Like, is this a behavior that I no longer need in my life because I have outgrown this? And we're all also, I feel very called to say this, we're all kind of moving in and out of a low level depression at this moment in time. There's a lot of energy where we're doing really, really well. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh boy, because we're not doing some of the things that fuel us, like hugging people and all of that fun stuff. So just really go inside, take the time with yourself, and know that you're not necessarily doing anything wrong, but be willing to explore where the buttons are that are being pushed. And I just want to, on the heels of that, all of that, Nicole, and please, Nicole, make some time to get some space and do some self-care. And that can go for all of us as well. Even though we're all together with people in our living spaces, we do need our space, and we do need to make some time to just, listen to a podcast or take a bath or read a book or hang upside down from, our inversion table, like whatever it is for you. Mm-hmm. It's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So thank you for that, Julie. Great question. So I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about the special offer, and then we're going to come back and we will see what we're going to do then. Okay, so for those of you who are on the live page, you can go to special offer. Those of you who are not, you can go to alara.at/show/Theresa5. I don't know why my voice is going now, but okay. So Theresa has two packages, package A and B. And package B includes a personal session with Theresa. So Theresa, do you want to just share a little bit about the packages?
Sure. So we'll talk about the other stuff first. So we're going to do, for the first package, we're going to do a group healing temple session, which is a live call. We'll all be together and the angels will come in, deliver messages, do some really deep, intense healing work that is done with such ease and grace that things change, and we don't have to go through that, old stuff of things taking a really long time and not being in service while we're healing. So these are great. We'll start with a meditation. We'll move through the messages. We'll do the healing, and then we'll receive programming and integration so that we leave this call with everything we need. And we might even do a Q&A if time allows. But healing as a group will allow us to focus the energy in one space and to all ride on everyone else's energy to heal some very deep things very quickly. So that's a live call. And then there's the item 2 is the body elemental pre-recorded audio workshop. If you don't have this yet, this is so important, especially now, working with your body elemental to make yourself as healthy as possible, to create a harmonious relationship there, so that from this moment on, you can be as sovereign and as healthy as you can in this beautiful body of yours. And then item 3 is the crystalline chakra alignment audio. It's a journey where I walk you through the chakra system with the angels, and we move the carbon-based chakra system more into the crystalline energy so that we can function from a higher vibration. And it's really beautiful, it's really powerful, and it's really gentle. And you can use it once or you can use it every day. It works. And then if you want all of that plus our wonderful individual personal session, we'll have an angelic support session in the healing temple, just you and I. There's 25 of these available. It'll be a 45-minute session where it'll be recorded for you, and you'll receive personal messages from the angels, and they'll show us where there's energy in your system that is ready and needs to be cleared for you to stand in the receiving of the abundance that is yours, to stand in the purpose that is yours, and to just stand in the overall joy and the feeling of aliveness that is your birthright this time around. We're just able to heal so much more, so much faster than we were ever before. And being in struggle does not serve us anymore. So it's time to let all of that go. So these packages are really designed to help us with that. So the first package is $97. And if you want the package with the one-on-one session and all of those other things, it's $197. So I feel so lucky and privileged to be able to bring these to you at this price point. So thank you, Alara, for providing this forum.
And thank you for sharing and, your time with us, and, these beautiful messages that you've been sharing with everybody, but also being able to have that personal session with you is going to really allow you to shift from where you are to where you want to go, right? And clear up some stuff. Sometimes give you just some clarity. Sometimes it's confirmation, but a lot of times it is about clearing out some of that resistance that may be in the way, or that one little piece that you're holding onto that cliff, letting that go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And the angels work with us in session, whether it's the group session or the individual session. The angels really work with us from a place, just like they're working with us today, of unconditional love and of humor and of really powerful insight. So you're experiencing that a little bit today. So it will actually allow you to feel more comfortable in letting go and in trusting your messages from your beautiful angels. So I really look forward to being able to serve you in this way if you feel called. So thank you.
Thank you. So again, those two offers, those two packages are available at alara.at/show/Theresa5. Please do take advantage of them right now, because this is the time that you can start to make those changes in your life, start to create the future that you desire, start to be moving forward with your passion and on purpose, with the guidance from the angels, with the guidance from your own team and your higher self. This is the time, because we're still kind of like in that little bit of lockdown and etc. So, you have the time, take advantage of it and get the momentum moving so that you can create whatever it is that you want, right?
Absolutely.
So I love it. All right. So Theresa, we have some more questions, but did you want to take some more questions? We have a few more minutes. So do you want to take some more questions?
Take more questions. It's completely up to you, Alara. You are in charge.
I was going to say, do you want to take some questions, or do you want to do a quick little process? I don't think we talked about that, but I'm just going to see. Go ahead.
My experience with the angels in today is Archangel Raphael stepped forward before we started, and he said he was going to be offering healing energy throughout this whole session. And the angels always like to take the one-on-ones, because the energy they say they bring through as healing goes to everybody. So it's almost like they can get more done that way. So
yeah, absolutely. Love it. Good. Thank you. And so Deborah was asking, will we have a downloadable recording of this call? So all of the calls go on to YouTube, so you can watch them anytime, and they're also on the podcast. And from the podcast, you can download them if you want. So that's absolutely, you can download the recording of this for sure. All right. So I'm just going to go back up. And I know, because there was, I missed a few, maybe, I'm not sure anymore. 1 second. Angela, we got PS, we got Edwin, Zila. I'm not sure what Zila's question was. I have felt it was darkness causing chaos and harm as it happened right after I started my service to others. And I think this has to do with she's having problems with her pets not eating or drinking water. I'm not sure.
Okay, wait, I found it. Okay, yeah. So I think your intuition, Zila, is spot on. So there's a couple of things here. I'm just feeling you so much because I've had these situations with my pets where they got older and they needed care, and when they're hurting, or it's just really hard. So I just want to share with you that I'm so empathizing with you right now. So what it feels like is an invitation to you to get a lot stronger with your boundaries about energy you're letting into your space, energy that you're allowing to come to you in the name of your service, right? Because just because you're serving others doesn't mean that their energy gets to take advantage of you and stay in your space. So what your angels want you to do is declare the kind of energy that you want to work with. And I'm getting chills now because just talking to you, that energy is trying to get into my space and it's not happening. So your angels want you to really get clear about what it is you do want and what it is you don't want in your space, in the people that you're working with, right? And then make that boundary and call in your team, however it is that you're going to set up your space before you do your work and your service to others. Our pets will take every bit of pain from us. They will take every bit of energy to block it from getting to us. And I've seen that in my own life, and I've seen it in the lives of so many of my clients and friends. I have a friend who had cancer, and it was like all over his body, and somehow he went into remission, and his dog developed tumors all over its body. And, but they weren't cancerous, but he took that energy for my friend. And so this is what our pets will do for us. So clear your space, get clear on your boundaries, let your pets be cleared, like maybe light some sage around them or sage spray, like whatever feels safe for them. And just call in Archangel Ariel, Saint Francis, and Archangel Michael into your space and let them take over and clear everything for you. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you. So I have said and declared that I do not want Neo to take on anything of mine. I've said it, and I'm like, no. If I'm having aches and pains or whatever, I will deal with it. I do not want Neo to take it on. I don't care. It's like, whatever. No. I love him so much. I do not want him to take on anything.
Totally. Can I just share this message that just came in?
Yeah.
Because it came privately. So someone is saying that I don't know why I said inversion table. That's what the angel showed me. That's what I said. She said she just bought an inversion table to help with her back pain. So she's like, I felt that message came directly to me. And I can't tell you how many times I have said the weirdest thing over the course of doing readings. And I'm like, oh my God, this person is never going to want a reading or recommend me because I just said the weirdest thing. And it's like the thing that they needed to hear. Yeah. So that also goes to show all of you what we were talking about before. When you follow the guidance and you trust the guidance, even though it is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, like inversion table is not so ridiculous, but I've said weirder. It's for a reason. It's the right thing in some way. So just follow it and go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. I love it.
Thank you, Nicole, for sharing.
Angela's asking, out of curiosity, what is Archangel Michael's thoughts on Blu-rays?
My first thought when you say that is the baseball team. I'm just asking. So it's interesting because what Archangel Michael is showing me is we're moving into this new age of empowerment. And how we perceive things will in turn affect the effect they have on us. So interesting. The energies, like angels don't often have a whole lot of judgment on anything, and he's not showing me much other than I'll tell you exactly what he's showing me. He's showing me glowing energy that feels benign, and he's sort of saying it's up to our interpretation. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Is it's not, it's up to your interpretation. Like, does it resonate for you? Does it not resonate for you? Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Is it a label? Is it not? Like, it's, you know, that's what he's showing me right now.
Mm-hmm. So follow your knowing. You know, how does it feel to you?
Exactly.
Right? Go ahead, Caroline.
Can I add something to that?
Mm-hmm.
The Blu-ray. 2018, I went to Ojai, California, and to record my songs. And when I saw this woman pregnant, one of the brothers that I recorded with, I saw the Blu-ray in her belly. And I've called him Blu-ray ever since. And then when the other brother asked, his wife asked me if she was to get pregnant, a violet ray came through. So it's the first time I hear of Blu-ray ever since. It's the first time I've heard anyone else mention these rays. So whatever you pick up from that, Theresa.
Yeah, really no, it's been like, it's been really interesting because, you know, we talked about the indigos, we talked about the crystals, we talked like, and it sort of is like those labels felt really relevant sometime in the 90s, right? And then as we progressed, they seemed to feel less relevant because what started to happen is there started to be so much division and so much labeling within the culture that it just felt like another way to sort of label and box and divide. But for some people, that's really helpful because it helps to give you a perspective of the world based on, you know, some sort of energetic. So that's kind of why he's saying if it resonates, go with it. At this point, you know, it's just, it can serve for some and it may not serve for others because it may serve to classify and divide at the same time.
Yep.
I hope that made sense.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. You are an infinite being. So, you know, use the rays to your advantage, use the rays to create with, but you are an infinite being with all spectrum of light. All right, so Katie says, can the angels guide me to take the right steps in dealing with a shared property with my stepchildren? I would like to have everything done fairly and they seem to want me to disappear. I did talk to you 2 years ago. You recommended having my guardian angels talk to their guardian angels. I did do this and I will start again. I would love to have them buy me out, but I think that isn't likely.
How do you want to feel? So we're going to go, I feel when you're asking the question, I feel this desire for freedom and a little bit of justice, like wanting everything to be fair. So really get in touch with how you want to feel, because this is a magical time, and stay with that vision of how you want to feel. Call in your guardian angels. Call in your guardian angels at this point. Make this about you now, okay? Because how do you want to feel? And really stay in the energy of this is how, and let the angels and let your divine team organize the how is this going to happen, but just stay in touch with how you desire to feel. And it may not be done fair amongst them. Like maybe that's the energy that's holding it back. You know, it's going to be done how it has to be done, in the right way with what everyone signed up to experience. So just keep your focus on what you want and for the highest outcome, which is what you always do. And I feel Archangel Ariel and Archangel Michael very instrumental in this. And there's a third, Archangel Daniel. So keep them with you, keep calling on them and let them orchestrate. I say Michael, Ariel, Daniel.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. And sometimes, you know, as much as we would like everything to be, you know, wonderful for everybody, sometimes at some point you have to think about you. What do you want? But even when you want something for yourself, still you can ask, this is what I want, but let it be for the highest good of all, right? In the highest and best way possible, better than what I can even imagine, with ease and grace. You know, you want it to be filled with ease and grace, right? But you are also, you know, worthy of receiving what you want, you know? So you know, and deserving of it. So ask for it as well.
Absolutely.
For you, not just that they have everything in fairness, but for you as well to have everything in, you know, however it shows up, and be okay with it, because you are having the intention that it be with, you know, in fairness and all good and etc. But however it's going to be, it's going to be. Okay, so don't remove yourself out of the equation is basically what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah. And one of them may need a lesson in unfairness for whatever reason. We don't know what their souls need.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. We don't know what they signed up for. Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Good point. Awesome. So, all right. So Theresa, is there anything else that the angels would like to share with us today about moving forward, about creating our life with passion, with purpose, with ease and grace?
Yeah. So Archangel Jophiel is coming in, and I did see a question before. Someone asked if Jophiel was with her, and yes, the answer is yes. There's been an energy where we, the light worker, we, the sensitive, have divorced ourselves from our passions. We've learned that desires are not spiritual, and, you know, things like that. This is not the time for that. This is the time for us to reconnect with that fire, let it burn within us, because that is the fire that is going to cultivate what's next. And so really get in touch with what brings you joy, get in touch with what turns you on in all the ways. Like, really get in there and explore what feels good to you, and create from that place of feeling good, feeling fulfilled, and not be afraid to connect with those things, because that is part of our experience here on earth. Divorcing from that came from a paradigm when we believed suffering was the way to spirituality, and each and every one of us here has come to this place, maybe at first through suffering, but we continue to come back because of the joy. So it's time for us to set the example to live from that space of joy. And Archangel Jophiel is saying that she's bringing in her angels to help all of us, and what Jophiel does is creates beauty in the world. And so each of us is leaving with a parting gift of one of Jophiel's angels to come work directly with us, should we choose to have that connection. So
yes, please, absolutely.
Beautiful. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. I felt so much beautiful energy on this call, and thank you, Alara, for inviting me to be here. So I feel so blessed.
Awesome. Thank you. And, you know, and this is the time to reignite your passion, reignite your dream, start dreaming again if you stopped, you know, come back to your heart space and work with the angels, work with your team, work with spirit. And, you know, take that step, you know, take that first step, whatever that first step is. Don't go from A to Z right away, but go from A to B and then B to C. But just take one step at a time. But be in that joy, you know, be in the energy of what it is that you want to create, what you would like to experience, what you would like to share with everybody, what you would like to express in the world and want to see in the world. Share that, right? Focus on that.
Totally. I just want to show you really quick. I pull a card before every group, and today's card was this. Can you see it?
Every journey starts with a single step. Yes.
Yeah. So here we are. And so take that leap, because your angels are there to hold your wings, you know, and just help you fly. And we're all here for you as well. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you everybody for your questions. I think I got to everybody. So thank you. And wow, I'm excited. Because this is such a wonderful time for all of us, you know, and we should take advantage of it, you know. So, you know, like, start dreaming, get that idea book and start writing your ideas in there, and start visioning, right? Visioning every day for 5 minutes about what it is you want to create, the energy, the feeling, the joy, right? Whatever that happens to be. So absolutely. And I'm just like, I'm so grateful for this conversation. It was so much fun, and just feeling the presence of the angels, it has been beautiful. So thank you, Theresa. Thank you, everybody. And until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.